Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you may be watching this video from. I'm going to be sharing with you an article that was posted on the Common Sense Show on September 13th. And it is entitled, WEF Admits COVID Was a Test of Public Obedience to New Globalist World Order. The article reads as follows. The World Economic Forum, or WEF, has quietly revealed that the Wuhan coronavirus, or COVID-19 pandemic, was a test hatched by the globalists to see how compliant and obedient the public is to globalist tyranny. On the My Carbon page of its website, the WEF makes a pitch for 15-minute smart cities as the solution to climate change. On that page, the WEF shows its hand about what COVID was really designed to do. COVID-19 was the test of society responsibility, the WEF openly admits. A huge number of unimaginable restrictions for public health were adopted by billions of citizens across the world. There were numerous examples globally of maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, mass vaccinations, and acceptance of contact tracing applications for public health, which demonstrated the core of individual social responsibility. In other words, the WEF was testing us all to see how we would respond to ridiculously pseudoscientific measures like avoiding other people and covering one's breathing holes with cloth and plastic. This new normal, as they called it, was meant to ease the world into a more permanent state of restricted living. They wanted to see how many of us would give up our individual freedom and individual sovereignty by complying with a new normal that consisted of restrictions bordering on the absurd, Leo Holman writes on his Substack. Why, for instance, was it safe to shop at Lowe's or Home Depot, but unsafe to shop at a small business or attend church? Why was it okay to go to strip clubs in Michigan, but you couldn't buy seeds for a garden? Sustainability is about forced obedience to tyranny. When they first started using the term sustainability to describe a future free from excess waste and planetary destruction, the globalists had hoped that most people would simply buy in based on the name. Many people now realize, though, that sustainability is simply a code word for forced compliance with tyranny. In the sustainable world of the future, Americans will no longer have the constitutionally protected freedom to speak up and question anything. The expectation will be that everyone complies at all times with the government's orders without asking any questions, which is what we saw transpire during COVID. Would we be obedient if, in the face of idiotic new laws and regulations, like wearing face diapers to stop what was said to be an aerosolized virus, and standing 6 feet apart in public, and submitting to a never before used unlicensed mRNA gene-based injection? Holman asks. They said it was good for you, so roll up your sleeve. Don't ask questions. If you did, you could lose your job or be treated as a societal outcast. Many people lost friends or even close family members to this monstrous test of our willingness to unquestioningly do what we were told. It has been nearly 5 years since COVID first appeared, and the WEF is finally fessing up to what many of us could see was the case all along, that COVID was simply an exercise in tyranny designed to traumatize the public and break down any remaining public willpower to fight back against the authoritarian police state. They wanted to find out how many of us would prove our servitude to the lawless, fascist beast system by complying with unimaginable restrictions, many of which were created out of thin air with absolutely no scientific evidence to back them up as contributing anything to public health Holman says, when the lockdowns began in 2020, I asked the question, why are churches complying? At a minimum, the churches should have said, no, we will not comply. But they went right along. And how many millions of people went along? And how many hundreds of thousands, if not more, died from the forced poke? I believe that there's another one coming. What will you do then? Have you learned anything from the last event? I hope that you have. If you don't think of yourself, think of your family. It's coming, and it's coming quickly, especially as we see the November 5th presidential election getting closer. So think about it. I already have. And my answer will be the same as it was the last. No. Until the next time, take care. God bless.